Okay, speaking about inappropriate comments.
Okay.
There have been some naughty comments been made at you. And
Oh my gosh, you know, I can distinctly remember when it started actually.
Jake Park is my favorite little thrift flipper.
Well, I got into sewing because I could never find clothes that fit me. I'd have to like go into the women's section, or I'd have to like cut stuff and hem.
You have a smaller frame.
I'm a petite little baby. And I moved to Georgia when I was around like 7, 8, and I've been there most of my life. I went to college around that area. I did mechanical engineering.
Well, do you miss anything about the South? Wow, I guess not. Do you remember the first video you posted that started popping off?
It was about me doing stuff with my hair.
So you didn't even want to start sharing stuff about your clothes in the past?
Yeah, no, I only did clothing related stuff late 2022.
Have you done pottery before?
I want to do those spinning pottery wheels so bad. You know the videos of those like half naked people that just like have it all over their bodies?
Do you want to do that?
I don't want to do that, but like the actual pottery aspect seems so
No, you want to
fun.
be the clay on the...
Right. I'm like, spin me around.
Hi, Jake.
Hi.
I'm so glad that you're on my silly show, Happy Hour with Melissa Cho.
I'm so honored. I love the little slogan.
Jake Park is my favorite little thrift flipper who started sewing in 2020, right before the pandemic. What you did is that you saw that this old lady was offering free sewing classes at a public library, and then you took 2 sewing classes, and then you started altering clothes from there on, and then got more experimental, and then you would do a lot of outfits for, I guess, tentpole events such as Valentine's Day or when the Barbie movie came out, maybe even during Christmas. And I love watching your videos because you can take like old curtains from a thrift store and then turn it into a top, which you wore to an event that we went to recently. And so you have some other projects that are happening. So you're trying to do more custom pieces for people.
Yes.
And for projects.
Yeah.
You're going to do something for a drag queen. You're going to be helping out with wardrobe for the student film upcoming.
Yes.
And also, most people don't know that this is not your full-time job. You work in a STEM related field.
I know, which is so devastating.
That's your corporate job.
Right.
And so hopefully one day you're also hoping to break into this space, maybe even full-time.
Yeah.
Speaking of custom projects, this blouse you see that I'm wearing, yeah, Jake Park did that. Yeah. So when we were going to do this interview, I was like, Jake, I think it'd be really cool if I wear one of the pieces that you flip. And so the story behind this blouse is a lot of the girls you probably know, and we all love that Danish brand Gani, and they have a beautiful selection of clothes, but sometimes it can be a little bit out of budget for the plebeian woman.
Yeah.
And I really like this peplum blouse that had a kind of a flared, it tapers out. The bottom of the clothes, it flares out. Mm-hmm. And there are ribbons at the middle of the blouse to tie in the blouse. And I thought it's just a very cute top. And it's like, almost like what, $200?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't belong in the tax bracket to be paying for that. Yeah. And so this blouse that you see, I got at the men's section at a thrift store for $14.99.
Okay. Wow.
And Jake turned that blouse into this Gani blouse, essentially. So you are very good at what you do, essentially.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, it was fun to make. I feel like I haven't made like a blouse because I feel like most of the stuff that I make, it's very like stuck to my body kind of vibe. So it was fun making something loose, and loose. I always love making new things. I think that's why like sometimes people ask me, oh, are you ever gonna sell stuff, or like can you make the same thing for me? But I'm like, I feel like I just get bored of making the same thing. So this was fun to make.
Oh, yay. Well, I'm glad. And you guys will be able to see like a little before and after on the Instas.
Yeah.
But wow, this is amazing. So I met Jake at an Asian related event. So we went to this app launch event, and the app was Yuzu, which I actually interviewed the head of brand. And that episode is doing very well, to my surprise, to my pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Cindy was wonderful to have on.
I love her. She's so sweet.
She is really sweet.
I met her
and
at the
so
event.
I interviewed her the same day that the event happened, and it was a launch event for Yuzu, which is a social plus dating app for the Asian community under the Match Group. And the Match Group, they have like a portfolio of apps such as like Tinder, Hinge. You guys are probably on them. And so Jake and I, we didn't meet on the app, but we met at an in-person event hosted by the app, which is so funny. And I learned that you moved to LA like 4 months ago.
Yeah. Currently 4 months ago.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when we met, I moved there like a month ago. Yeah.
The time has passed
I
so
know,
fast. That's
I
crazy.
know.
And then, and since then, you've come on like 3 of my hot girl walks.
Yes, which I always love. Do they know about that?
Do they know about what?
Your
My
hot girl
walk?
walks?
Oh yes, I
Oh,
talk
of
about it all the
course.
time.
Amazing.
It's
It's very exclusive. I entered.
yeah, he's entered the exclusive ring, and
Right.
so when I'm gone, you certainly. Well, hopefully they keep making, my friends keep making those happen.
I hope so.
My other friend Steven, who was on the podcast, he's like, I think it's just gonna turn into hot girl brunch. I'm like, oh no, you gotta get your steps
we gotta walk
in.
somewhere.
Anyway, so
Well,
we met.
also, thank you for that long introduction. You were very concise. I was like, okay, she's hitting all the points.
Yeah. And then last Thursday, you took me to a TikTok event, which I was so honored.
Fun. I hope you had a blast.
I really did.
Yeah.
I really did.
I know I was taking like a couple more drinks than I probably should have.
You got the lychee drink?
Mm-hmm. It was really good.
Yeah, it
was
did
really
look good.
But yeah, it was so fun. We met so many like celebrities,
Like internet,
influencers,
like public figures, I
Yeah.
guess you would say that.
which I feel like I haven't learned because I'm still new to LA to
Mm-hmm.
not be like obnoxious to them. But I was very much like, whenever I met someone, I would point at them and be like, oh my gosh, I know you. Like, you're from the, and they'd be like, hey.
They're all very sweet, you know?
I
and,
know.
And like never did we imagine that we'd be dancing with Bella Porch on the dance floor.
What a night. She was so
She's very
sweet. Like,
sweet.
so
Yeah.
sweet.
There was someone who approached you and was like, I'm such a huge fan of you. Like, look at that.
Yeah. His name was Darian.
Yeah.
Um,
So sweet.
yeah, and
also a thrift flipper too.
Yes. And he was like, I went to fashion school because of you and another creator. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so
Like
honored.
Joe Hirsch,
Yes,
right? You
yes.
next to Joe Hirsch.
I know. I'm like, I'm so honored. Like, we shouldn't be on the same pedestal, but
Joe Hirsch or Joe Ando. That's like
Right,
the
I don't-
Japanese Asian guy who makes amazing clothes.
But I was like, this is amazing. Like, I want to go to fashion school. I should be like influenced by myself, but I don't know. I was like, oh, thank you.
So you came to LA from Atlanta. So you were in
Yes.
Georgia for how many years is it?
Okay, here's my backstory. So I'm actually born in Korea.
Yes.
And then I actually lived in New Zealand for a couple years. And then I moved to Georgia when I was around like 7, 8. And I've been there most of my life. And I went to college around that area. And the only time I lived outside of Georgia was when I was living in Wisconsin for work. And then I moved back to Georgia. And then now I'm here.
Yeah. The thing is, like, when I've had a couple of Korean talent on the show, and you're just like another one coming on.
Just to check off the box.
And the thing is, a lot of them, it's like their parents immigrate here, you know, very classic story. And they usually go to cities or states where it's known to have a big Korean population. Does Georgia have a prominent Korean population?
Yeah, they really do. I think like there's a city called Duluth, and that is basically like Koreatown. Like everyone,
Really?
not everyone, I guess, but there's like a lot of Korean restaurants. So that's where a lot of the population is. But even where, okay, well, I don't want to say where I was living. But yeah, they do have a pretty big Korean population. I actually like moved there because my cousin, I guess like my uncle, he was living there before we moved there. So we just like followed.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've had people from New Jersey and like big Korean population there, or Garden Grove here in Orange County, big Korean population there. So I guess Georgia is also another place that I'm finding out. Well, do you miss anything about the South now that you're in LA?
Besides my family, obviously, and close friends, because I feel like a lot of my close friends are there, and I literally did not know. Maybe I knew like 2 people here. Do I miss the South?
Wow, I guess not.
I think it's because I've lived there my entire life. So
And then is this a small town where you're from?
I guess where I'm from, but even like I was in Atlanta for school for 4 years, but I don't know, compared to LA, I just feel like after a couple months of living there, you've basically done everything that you can do, in my opinion. But again, biased because I've been living there my entire life, but also like, it's the South, the races, so no.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't any here, but it's just very different vibe. Yeah.
What was the decision behind your family going to New Zealand?
We also had family there.
I mean, in Auckland, there's a lot of Asians there. I don't know if you lived there too.
That's where I lived.
Oh, you lived in
Yeah.
Auckland? Yeah. I've been to New Zealand. Did I tell you?
No.
I've been 20. I don't know if you were there, but oh no, you probably were already in Atlanta.
Definitely not.
But I was there in 2017.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay. So I was there in 2017 and I had just graduated high school. And so my two high school best friends and we decided to go to New Zealand as our college trip because a lot of the people wanted to go to like Bali or they wanted to go to an island instead of a resort. And I was like, we have this time after graduation to see the world. I don't want to just be in resorts suntanning, you know? And so we went to New Zealand for 2 weeks. We went to the North Island, we went to the South Island, and we even went to Stewart Island, which is off the coast of the South Island. Okay. And speaking about racists,
what a transition.
On that topic. Well, the thing is, so Stewart Island is a small island off the coast of the South Island of New Zealand with a population of 1,000 people. So you can kind of imagine the upbringing that you have and how you take in the world is going to be very different than, if you live in LA. Yeah. We did like this crazy camping trip and we stayed in this hut in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, before the camping trip, we had to stock up on some food. And so my friends and we go into like the only convenience store on the island. I literally feel like it was the only convenience store. And we go in and the cashier definitely can hear what we sound like. This is my regular talking English speaking voice. Yeah. And so we get our food and then we go and pay at the cashier and she's trying to chat us up and she's like, "Are you guys here to learn English?" And I'm like, "LOL. No." Yeah. Ma'am, no. Yeah. And I have a very international background, but at this point, many times, like, I don't want to have to explain that to a random person. Yeah. So I was like, whatever. I came up with some kind of sort of explanation and I left. And then there was someone else in line behind us who was also on the same ferry that we took to get to the island. And we struck up a rapport with her. Her name was like Maria or something. I forgot. And she was in line behind us. Maria goes up to the cashier and she gets her stuff. The cashier says, "Oh, are you their English teacher?" And just like, why? And of course, your first reaction is like, "Oh my gosh, so racist." But at the same time,
I feel like they're just oblivious.
Yeah, you can't blame them for if you compare your lived experiences to theirs, because she's probably grown up on that island her entire life.
That's
and she's
true.
like only seen people who look like her.
That's true.
And so anyway,
but I'm like, y'all don't watch the news.
Literally, like, does cable TV not go to
exactly.
Stewart Island? But I will say it was a beautiful island. We had a wonderful time camping there. We like hiked on the beach. It was awesome. However, I will say that when we went to New Zealand though, like there'd be random kids coming up to us and be like, "Konnichiwa, konnichiwa," and I'm like,
oh my god, I can't stand that, because not to like pivot too much, but when I was traveling, I was in like Dubai last year, and I went into like the markets where they were like selling all these like trinkets and gold and spices, and the people, I'm sure this is the culture, but they like try to grab you in and come to their market, but they're like, "Konnichiwa," and I literally told them like, "Nope, wrong country," and they're like, "Oh, ni hao," and like and I literally said, "Try again," and they just like couldn't come up with any other Asian countries. I'm like, that's all you know?
That's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. When like people of European descent, oh yeah, I'm like Irish, French, German, Anglo-Saxon.
Oh my god.
And then when you say I'm Korean, they're like, "What? You're not Chinese?"
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like, other than the racist stuff, New Zealand's great.
But they're supposed to be like one of the best places to live in the world. They
Truly.
have like a female, is it a prime minister? I don't know what their government system is.
Oh, Jacinda. Oh, I think she stepped
first
down.
First name basis, I literally don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time. I think she stepped down recently. Yeah, I think it's someone else. But, okay. moving on.
Transitioning.
Okay, I want to talk about your foray into sewing.
Okay.
So we. Oh my gosh! Why
What?
did I not tease the drinks? I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, so Jake doesn't drink matcha.
I mean, I sometimes do. I just try not to drink caffeine because it makes me crazy.
Even matcha?
Yeah,
Even
I don't
when it has
drink tea,
L-theanine and
soda.
antioxidant properties?
Well, if you say it like that. But I feel like I usually want like a lot of sugar with it.
Oh,
Because without
but
it, I just
sugar
feel like it
makes
just
you-
tastes like grass.
A lot of matcha, if produced in a certain way, it could have like a sweet aroma to it.
I will say the best matcha I've ever had was when I was in Korea. And this
Really?
cafe, I forget what the name is, but truly the best matcha I've ever had in my entire life.
Okay.
And then
well,
I
at
came
least you
here and I
drink
tried
it.
a couple places and I'm like, ugh,
Okay. Have you been to Maru?
no.
Have you been to Canyon Coffee?
No.
Okay. I rest my case. Okay. But anyway. Wait, Jake, you've been to Erewhon before, right?
Yes, but I have never purchased anything.
Oh,
I literally
you're
walk
so
in.
strong.
No, I just walk in and I browse through a couple aisles and I'm like, okay, this is what it's about.
People who go to Erewhon, and I'm not saying I go. I
You go.
there. Okay, guys.
She goes.
I'm a PCOS girl, so there's like a specific kind of bread that they sell there that is gluten free, dairy free, refined sugar free, grain free, and so that is perfect for the
that
diet
seems
that I
so
want
stressful to have to like look through all that.
literally. I mean, I've gotten used to it, and thankfully I'm in LA. And in San Francisco,
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of options there too. But I do go there and get bread. And like sometimes I'll get like a little treat, like a cookie,
A
but
singular.
yeah, like just like one
nibble.
cookie, because I'm like we're all like treat people. You go to a grocery store, like,
Yeah.
oh, I want a little treat, you know?
Yeah.
So I will say, if people who go to Erewhon, do you notice that the aisles are so narrow? And
They say no fat people.
like the aisles are so narrow, and each shelf is so tall.
Oh, they said no fat and short people. Damn.
But I realize that it's like it can feel a little claustrophobic.
Maybe that's like their sensation to make you feel like overwhelmed. I don't know. I've
Anyway.
stepped foot in there twice, and both
Yeah,
times
I mean, you're so
was
close to one
searching
of
for a
them.
celebrity, and did not find one.
Oh God. Oh, I've seen a couple. Yeah. If you just keep your eyes open.
I feel like I wouldn't even know who they are, even if I saw them.
That's the
Some of
thing.
them are so niche. I'm like, I don't
That's the thing.
know.
I saw Nicola Peltz Beckham, Brooklyn Beckham. I don't even know what her full name is anymore. After she married Brooklyn Beckham, Nicola Peltz Beckham. So let's talk about your foray into sewing, which I don't even know why. Sorry, I talked about my scab and then it turned into a whole tangent.
No.
Okay. Do you remember what that first class was like?
Also,
what the
I love
teacher
that
was?
you added the detail that she was an old woman. I was like, I never said she was old.
Wait, did you say it was an old lady?
No.
Oh no.
I was like, it's just a lady.
No, wait. I feel bad. It was a lady.
Yeah. No, my friend, this was right before COVID hit. She found this free sewing class at a random public library in Atlanta, because we both went to school there. And she's like, oh, do you want to come with? I was like, oh, sure. So I bought a sewing machine on a whim, and we both got there, and it was...
You had to get your own sewing equipment? Oh.
But it was like $100.
For a new one?
Yeah. Which I feel like is good. And the one that I have right now, inflation, it's like a 150 now. But we got there, it was maybe like 4 people. And she was just teaching us how to like thread the needle, how to like press the pedal, how to sew in a straight line. And
Oh gosh, next in fashion.
I know. I actually loved that show.
The teacher was actually Gigi Hadid.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I went twice. My friend only literally went once. But after that, just YouTube videos, practicing on thrifted stuff, hemming clothes, because I feel like I tried to... Well, I got into sewing because I could never find clothes that fit me.
Yeah.
And it would either have to be like, I'd have to like go into the women's section, or I'd have to like cut stuff and hem. So I just want to learn to make stuff that would fit my body. And then...
Because you're on this, you have a smaller frame.
I'm a petite little baby. So yeah. But now I try to make more like experimental stuff that's like more funky.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would wear any of these things, but I don't know. I just think it's fun.
But you'd most likely wear them in LA rather than Atlanta, Georgia.
I know. Yeah, no, not in the white suburbs that I was growing up.
Prior to sewing.
Yes, I was doing nothing with my life,
Oh.
actually. No, I'm kidding.
But prior to, here's the thing, because you said that you come from such a STEM background.
I know.
But were you always a very arts and crafty person beforehand?
I would like to say so. I love stuff where I can like use my hands. Was I good at any of them? Probably not, but like little painting DIYs, or I would love to build furniture. Because I feel like it's like big version of Legos.
You'd be a great carpenter. I can see it.
Well, actually, so I did mechanical engineering, and I chose that major because they advertised it in a way that it was like, oh, you're going to be like using your hands to build these machines and do woodwork.
Yeah.
And I had one class where we were like literally building a machine that would compete in an arena. So I was doing like soldering and like lathe work and woodwork and nails and stuff, which I thought was so fun, but it was literally just one class. And after that, it was all physics and math. I was like, I got screwed.
You know, I struggled a lot. I was a theater major, and one of my prerequisite classes was theater tech, and we had to work on a lot of power tools. We had to like cut wood, we had to measure it. And I definitely had a harder time in that class because the US measuring system is just so unlike anything else. And they're like, this is 5 7/8 of an inch. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
I'll just say it in centimeters.
Yeah.
And so I think it was the measuring that took me off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because in my engineering classes, we all use like the metric system.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
I don't understand.
America's so funny.
Have you done pottery before?
I want to do those spinning pottery wheels so bad. You know the videos of those like half naked people that just like have it all over their bodies?
Do you want to do that?
I don't want to do that, but like the actual pottery aspect seems so
no, you want
fun.
to be the clay on the
Right. I'm like, spin me around. No, but I've been wanting to do that like for years.
Well, one of my guests that I had on the show was a potter.
Daniel.
Wait, I can't believe you actually called him by his like real name.
I know, like I pull out the legal name.
Do you eyeball everything
Yes.
when you when you sew?
Yes.
Oh.
100%. Because I think it's easier because I'm making it for myself, so I don't have to like.
Oh, you have a pretty good intuition on how it's gonna fit.
No,
on
I
you.
have no intuition, unfortunately. I just tie it on, and then I'll be like, okay, I have to put like this amount, like a couple inches, or like 1 inch, or like use my finger to mark like, or like a chalk to mark on the fabric. But I'm usually never make like an actual stencil or template. I should.
And it's gotten you so far already.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I really should because since I'm doing more custom stuff, I feel like I need to know their measurements and like create like a.
Yeah, you're gonna be working.
I don't even
on
know what the
different
word is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I have a friend that I made here in LA. His name's Dustin, and he's a photographer, and we are gonna do like a collab. And after I watched Challengers.
Yeah, okay, I watched it.
Oh, you watched it finally. Okay, we can talk about this too because I have been obsessed with that movie. I literally had dreams about all 3 characters.
Like, were you in it?
Oh, I was. Yes. That's what made it a good dream. We're gonna do a Challengers themed photo shoot. So I'm gonna make like a tennis
I love
esque outfit and then do like a photo shoot with that. So
that's so fun.
yeah, but anyways, Challengers.
I loved it.
It was one of my favorite movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, whenever that score came on, I was like, oh my god, am I in a club?
Because I think that's the thing. That's just the magic of movies. We've come to this place for magic.
Was that Nicole Kidman? Oh, okay. I was like, who is she right now?
I'm a shapeshifter.
Right. And I haven't been to the theaters in so long. I'm not really like a movie person, to be honest.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I was like, wow, this is good. Like, okay, movies.
Do you remember the first video you posted that started popping off?
I think it was so I started posting on TikTok during COVID like everybody else. But it was about me doing stuff with my hair because I would like bleach my hair, curl my hair, dye my hair, paint with my hair, burn my hair. I was like literally doing everything with it. And one of those sort of went viral. And then I think my content was me doing dumb stuff.
So you didn't even want to start sharing stuff about your clothes in the past?
Yeah, no, I only did clothing related stuff starting in like late 2022.
Wow,
and then early
it took you
2023.
a couple years to find your new niche.
Yeah. It was literally I was trying on clothes in the women's section, and I was like, I had a spam account. Well, I have like 2 spam accounts on TikTok. So I was just like putting on my spam account, like, oh hey, here's me trying on like women's clothes just because. And then that blew up, and I was like, oh, let me just like do more of this. And then I started to make like more feminine clothes to fit my body. Now I just do it for fun.
And your videos, each video performs very well.
Thank
I
you.
will say. That's the thing, because like a lot of videos online, like a lot of people see a decrease in their engagement.
I know.
But how are you still up there? Like,
I
what's
literally
going
don't
on?
know, but I'm grateful.
God favors you.
Sometimes. If I could make money off of it, that would be amazing. If anyone's listening out there,
That's
please
the
give me a
thing.
brand deal.
Jake seriously needs to get brand deals. Like, everyone jokes that I need to become a talent manager because like,
Please do.
because the thing is that like, I can piece people and opportunities like very quickly. I'm like a very good matchmaker. And so like you definitely could be partnering with a any kind of clothing company. Like I told you about Newly and UULY.
I still haven't reached out to them yet, but I need to.
Clothes from them. ThredUp would be great. Any of these like sustainable clothing businesses or services, you do so well. It's like you take their old clothes and then you just flip it.
Yeah.
Like, what a good video idea.
I wonder if it's because like some of my content is not very PG.
Oh.
And they probably sift through my content. They're like, yeah, we don't want this image. So maybe that's could be why.
I don't know. All you have to do is just like DM people. That's really the thing. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because this is how I get people on the show. I just DM them like, hello, I have 2 microphones. Would you like to use one of them?
That's so cute.
Okay, speaking about inappropriate comments.
Okay.
That's the thing. When in the timeline of you being online did this start to happen? There have been some naughty comments been made at you. And
oh my gosh, I can distinctly remember when it started actually. I was showing off these Converse platform boots, I guess, that I got. And it was literally just me like trying them on because...
Are they cunty?
No, honestly, not really.
Yeah, I don't think Converse has made anything like that.
They're just like... I love them though. I literally wear them like almost every day, but it's just like pretty basic Converse. It's just like slightly platformed.
Okay.
But they were in the corner of my room for the longest time because I ordered them and I was gonna wear them, but I got into a car accident and I just like forgot about. Okay,
gosh,
that like I did not need to share that. But
okay, I got into a car accident last year too. So
terrible. But I was trying them on and I was just like showing it to the camera, and I guess I was like bent in awkward angles and whatnot, and then the comments. Some suggestive ones came in and I was like, you know what? I'm bored. I have nothing better to do. And I just like played along with them, and then it's just escalated from there. So.
This brings us to online attention, parasocial relationships.
Yes.
Do you think you're still acclimating to this type of intense social attention from strangers? Because I assume that being an Asian kid growing up in Georgia in the South, it's like, did you stick up like a sore thumb? It could go either way. Did you stick up like a sore thumb, or did you try your best to avoid attention at all costs? And with that being said, did that affect how you view attention being made on you online?
I love deep conversations.
We can go everywhere.
I think it's both because, again, I grew up in like white suburbia. I don't think I realized that I stuck out until I went to college and after college, where I met like more people of color.
Yeah.
But I was really, really, really quiet and shy as a kid. In middle school, I had this English or social studies teacher, and she would literally make me ask her 3 questions a day because I would just never talk. And she's like, no, Jake, you're going to ask me 3 questions.
Wait, that's good.
I know, it was very sweet, but I was like very reserved. I would even like hate raising my hand to go to the bathroom kind of level. So I feel like I've come a long way outside of that. But I don't know if it was because I was like Asian in a very white community, or I was just like really skinny and small. I think it was just like a combination of all those factors.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
probably.
like put attention to myself. But now I'm like, please give me all the attention, please.
When did that change? When you went to college?
Honestly, maybe. Yeah, I think like middle of college to after college.
Yeah.
Like experimenting with like different
Yeah.
styles, being with different crowds of people, and not to say like dropping friends, but maybe like changing friend groups that were
Yeah.
more suited to my personality.
Yeah. You look like you're doing a great job.
Thanks. I feel like I'm just so exhausted because I've been trying to do so many different things since I moved here. I'm like, oh, I need to meet so many different people and do all these activities.
Yeah.
I can't.
You're in it's the honeymoon phase for sure.
Yeah.
But once you become a bit more selective of, what you want to do, it's like, yeah, you'll settle in.
I know.
But it's
I'm so bad at
exciting.
saying no. I'm like, yes, I will do everything that I'm invited to. But
So have you found someone?
as of now, no. Honestly, I went on maybe like over 25 dates the first 2 months I was here.
Whoa.
Because I have never gone on dates in my entire life before, and I got out of a relationship last year. And so when I moved here, I told myself like, okay, this is time. I'm gonna meet new people. It's gonna be a new chapter in my life. I'm gonna go on dates for the first time. And I actually love going on first dates. I think they're so fun. I know a lot of people are like, I hate the like, oh my gosh, like what do you like to do, like what's your name stuff, but I love meeting new people. But it got very tiresome just because like,
Yeah, I need to drive
it's
everywhere.
socially draining.
Yeah.
So I've sort of like, it's died down a bit, and I feel like I've slowed down, but
Now you've had like a bit of a taste of the market, the market that's out
I don't know
here.
if I like the flavor of it, to be honest.
No. What would the flavor be? It's like
Maybe like bittersweet.
well, I've never been on a date before as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
This is what I talked about with my bestie, my high school bestie last summer. Both of us, he talked about this Chinese phrase called 母胎单身. It means like you've been single since you've been in your mom's belly. And we both were 母胎单身. And
Wait, can you teach me?
oh, what do you mean? What?
母胎单身.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
But that's the thing. I think, well, I talked about this in previous episodes where it's like, I grow up and my parents are like, don't date anyone in school. And I'm
now
like,
they're
okay.
like, get married.
Well, now they're like, I mean, they're not pushing me, but I think secretly me and my older sister were not dating anyone. They're like, what's going on,
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm moving to San Francisco, so I'm going to get a Silicon Valley husband.
Right. Bro. They'll have money, software engineer.
But I mean, that's just like an easy answer. But I feel like I've always been very fulfilled, like with having a lot of friends, and I've always like, even though my job, like before getting my new job, it was also a very isolating job because I was editing, and editing, you're just also in front of your computer
Staring at a screen all day.
And I definitely feel like because of that, I'm just like, okay, I have to go out more. I have to go on hikes and everything, and I'll hang out with my friends and have quality time. So I just like never. Also, dating apps scare me too. It's like it's like I downloaded the Yuzu app and I was like, I can't do this.
It is intimidating.
Also because the app is not it's new, so there's not a lot of people on it yet. So it's like the pool is smaller, you know, statistically.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was on it, just looking around, hee ha hawing, and I was like, yeah, this is not the place for me. This is literally the only app I've ever downloaded. I never downloaded any other apps, and because I think I'm just like very stubborn, because I'm like, I love meeting people in person, and I'm holding out hope. It's like, okay, I'll meet someone in person.
Here's the thing though. I feel like I talk to so many people and they're like, no, I'm so anti-dating app because I want to meet someone organically, like at a cafe or like bump into them in the street. But I'm like,
and I don't go to cafes.
I know. But I'm like, what is the probability of that happening? Not to like burst anyone's bubble, but like, I guess that's just my mindset.
Or even like an Instagram meet cute, you know?
Yeah, but like, how do you, I don't know. I just feel like the internet makes everything so much more vast.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why people like break up so often now, because they're like, oh, there's like another option. Or, oh, I can easily swipe left on you because I can swipe right on someone else.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I have like a love-hate relationship with dating apps.
I also think, I mean, I do definitely sound like a broken record in this episode. It's just like, I think I'm on a very, you don't have to be, that's the thing. Here's the thing I will have to tell people. You don't have to be completely self-secure to find someone, but I'd prefer to, I mean, because like, I can't imagine, I mean, it's possible to have a partner, to be in a relationship with a partner who has a chronic condition such as myself. But I just would imagine that it would just take a lot of work. And I think, I think secretly inside, I hate inconveniencing people. I think that's probably the
interesting. Yeah.
That probably is a big answer that I'm discovering right now.
Yeah.
And also, I'd probably be, it's just like, where would I find a guy who would be so supportive of trying to help me weather this chronic condition? I don't think I have enough faith.
Yeah, honestly, so valid. But I would hope that it would be the right person if you meet that person and they are willing to like do XYZ for you.
Yeah, but like honestly,
but you never know until you.
So many women have it. It used to be 1 in 10 women have it, which is already a shocking statistic. Yeah, 1 in 8 women have it.
That's crazy.
The thing with
in the world,
or I don't know, in America, I'm not sure. I have to check it up, but yeah, it's crazy. It's very common actually. Yeah. So I also think like in America, everyone's allergic to everything. Everyone has all these like autoimmune issues. It's like the environment you live in, the hustle culture, the food that gets manufactured here, it all plays a part.
Yeah, Americans have so many allergies.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it was because I came to America that I developed this.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, being in America is a health hazard.
Yeah, no, actually.
This goes out to my girls. This goes out to my sisters.
Sisters.
Girlies. Get an ultrasound. Check those ovaries.
Get
your
ovaries.
blood work. Yeah, so that's my answer.
Wait, so do you find yourself not wanting to ask people for help?
Yeah. And that a lot of people ask me for help and I always help them.
Do you feel like, oh my gosh, I love that this is becoming slowly like a therapy session. Okay. Do you feel like when you help people, you're inconvenienced?
I mean, it depends on the scale of the help, but I don't see it as inconveniencing me, but just hoping that more people can help me. But the thing is, I don't ask for help. Yeah. I don't ask for help.
You should.
So, I mean, yeah, that's
like I feel like if you ask the right people, it's not an inconvenience. And if it isn't inconvenience, then you're not asking the right people.
Yeah. Anyway, but
I think that's such a like common thing, especially in like Asian culture. Like I know, especially like my parents, they like don't like to ask for help. But I'm like, just ask. Yeah. The worst they can say is no.
There is Southern hospitality though. Like, do you feel like you were surrounded with people even though, you know, in the South? Yeah. Do you feel like you were surrounded by hospitable people?
Honestly, yeah. Like some of the people, they were like super friendly. Yeah.
That's all we can say. Did they give you the shirt off their back?
I don't think to that level. It was just like, I don't know. It's like a hit or miss. It's either like, if I go out, let's say like with my mom, I had this experience. I was with, actually this was in Wisconsin, but it was at like a cheesecake factory and
Wisconsin. Oh, that's so good.
And my mom and I was with my parents and they were trying to order, but my parents aren't really good at English. So my mom was like whispering like one of the menu items and the server, she was like, "You're going to have to speak up." And my mom tried to like point at it and she's like, "I don't have my glasses, you're gonna have to like say it." And like she was giving us an attitude and being really mean, so I like took the menu and like sort of said it for her. And it's just like little instances like that, especially like growing up in the South, those little like I don't even know if they're considered microaggressions, but just like being like not nice.
I would say that they are.
Yeah So I feel like I had more instances of that, or maybe I just remembered a lot more rather than like kind people.
Yeah, usually the negative experiences stand out more.
Yeah, it's like little things like if I brought lunch from home and it smelled like, you know, the basic stuff.
Oh, wow, you had a very classic American immigrant boy story.
Yeah.
Do you think growing up in the South you are more trusting of people? No. So you don't trust people as much. Okay. That's the same for me too.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's because I grew up in the South. I think that's just like,
Or
how I've become from my personal experiences with people. I feel like I've seen instances where like I've known them for a couple months, couple years, however many time, and they show like parts of themselves and I'm like, oh, you're like this kind of person this entire time.
Yeah.
So and then I just have my walls built up pretty high.
I definitely am. My mom always tells me this phrase that there are more wolves than sheep in the world.
Yeah.
And she's a bit of a definitely a realist, and I take that with me also because I grew up in very big cities in Asia, and like there are a lot of crafty people.
Yeah.
So that's a question I want to ask, because like I know people who grew up in a very suburban area and they're very trusting of people, and now when they move to a big city such as LA and they get like conned or scammed by even friends or just are too trusting of people, it's like they learn that lesson.
No, I'm the opposite. I'm like so skeptical. I feel like I would never get scammed. Let me knock on wood. Because I'm always like, what are your intentions with me? But I'm trying to like let go of that a little bit, because I feel like it's not healthy to think about that whenever I'm like first meeting someone.
Yeah.
I should give them the benefit of the doubt, but I usually have it in the back of my mind, so I'm not like baboozled. Is that a
Bamboozled?
word? Bamboozled. Bamboozled. Is that baboozled?
Okay, wait. I never really had you share what you did for your day job. You're a data analyst, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a data/technical analyst for a software company that analyzes social media data. I say that like word for word every single time someone asks me what I do, and I feel like I'm giving an elevator pitch every single time.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. Now you guys know what Jake does.
Yeah.
Which I think works very well into your social media stuff. Like works hand in hand.
Yeah, no, I think this job is like honestly such a good blend of my technical background and my like interest in social media, so it was a good fit.
That's so great. Okay. I think this is
Yeah, we've been talking for
literally
a while. How long have we
I'm
been
always
talking?
like, oh yeah, it's gonna last for like an hour and 15 minutes, and then it just always goes longer than that.
Yeah.
But Jake, thank you so much for providing me with this blouse. I would definitely will be wearing it during those summer months, and especially we're gonna have every year it's a delayed summer, and the summers get longer and longer, so more time to bust out this blouse. But Jake Park, thank you so much for coming on Happy Hour.
Oh my gosh, Melissa, thank you for having me. This was so amazing. I was telling Melissa that I was so nervous about this.
Yeah, everyone usually is. I'm like,
I've never been on something like this before, so this was so fun. I love to yap.
Yeah, this was so disjointed.
But we love.
Yeah, but I'll find a way to piece it all together.
Great editor you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.